So on the 9th of July, we'll be running a Marvel Crisis Protocol tournament. It's called War of the Realms. My name is Dion. I am the promoter slash player in the tournament.
Oh, and I'm Josh. I'm running this tournament. It should be fun.
Yeah. First time TO. Should be good fun.
Yeah. Bit of a change.
Absolutely. Our This is our third tournament in South Australia. The first tournament we had 12 players. The second tournament we had 16,
Oh, did we?
I think. And then this tournament we have 12 players. So tonight
Interesting.
we're,
We've gone
yeah,
up in players because there's new people at this one.
correct.
The actual number of people playing is going up.
Yeah, so that's good. We've got good growth in the community.
And some interesting list.
Yes, definitely. So we have our 12 rosters, and we're going to go through them and give a little analysis as best we can. And then hopefully next week we can do a little tournament wrap up if we're so inclined.
So about it.
So we have 12 players, one of which is our ringer, Gumby. Please come and even out our numbers, please, friend. And one of these lists is mine. None of them are named, so we'll keep it anonymous, and we'll see how we go.
Yep. So, Ghost Rider and Friends first.
Yes, that's our first list.
One of many Midnight Suns. There's a lot.
Definitely. The-
Um,
I think there's a lot of overlap in a lot of the Midnight Suns lists
yeah.
because there is a lot of useful characters.
Yeah. I'd say this one is the pretty standard Midnight Suns list.
Also, looking at the 10 characters that there is, it could also be a Defenders or a Convocation
Oh yeah,
because
that is
we
true.
have a
Doctor
bunch of
Strange.
leaders.
Yeah, that is very true.
So I think this list is probably straight up smash your enemy in the face.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very much a Blade plus Hulk or Ghost Rider, and then Phil. He's got all the things, a bit of range in the Punisher,
For
Doctor
sure.
Strange to do the shenanigans, Wong's if you run Immortal Hulk to do healing shenanigans.
Yeah, I really like Iron Fist and Luke Cage comboed together as well. I think they're really nice, especially if we have the Heroes for Hire Team Tactics card, which we do.
Yep.
Looking at the Secure and the Extracts, we're ideally minimum of 17 threat level, maximum of
Yeah.
20.
This person is going for big numbers, so they can probably fit Hulk and Ghost Rider in with some
I,
toys.
I think so. Hulk and Ghost Rider gets you 12, 12 threat level, plus Blade brings you to,
Speaking of
what's
the
that,
16
16? Oh,
plus throw in a Wong, that's your 18. That's pretty
yeah,
nasty.
absolutely. That's going to be a very well-rounded list where everything can do lots of damage.
Yeah.
What are
We've
some
also
interesting team tactics cards?
we've got Doctor Voodoo, who's got all his shenanigans as well. I don't know if he took the card that affects that, but he
Uh,
does have some of the goodies. He's got Heroes for Hire, as he said, which always makes Luke Cage and Iron Fist work well together.
Doctor
Uh,
Voodoo, the spirit of Brother Daniel. Is that
yeah,
the ability that stops your opponent from capturing objectives?
it is possession. You can put the
Ah, there we
opponent's
go.
enemy token on a character, and while that character has the token, they cannot interact, hold, or contest objectives, which is a bit gross at times.
It is, especially if we've got some very small number of objective tokens. So, like if we have Fear Grips World as worthy terrorized cities, aka Celestial Hammers, there's only 4 tokens on the map, and if you can stop your opponent from capturing one of those,
Yeah.
very nasty.
Sneaky last turn. Remove a point can win you a game.
Definitely. So Heroes for Hire allows Luke Cage and or Iron Fist to be placed closer to the enemy and then become the target of the attack. Is that right? Yes.
Yes. Which is very good for Luke Cage to
Yeah.
keep up alive.
Also useful for keeping like your leader alive, so you can keep your leadership ability.
Because Blade isn't too tanky, is he? 4-3-4, he's alright. But if you can keep him alive with Luke
For
Cage,
sure. And I think as well, like Blade can perform a shake action for free, and every time somebody's bleeding within range 2 of him, he gains a power and heals a wound. So he's quite tanky, but
he could get knocked out in one hit pretty easily.
correct. So yeah, it's really cool. Ghost Rider as well
Yeah, he's got the
is
Ghost Rider cards. He can sacrifice someone to keep himself alive. He's got the Highway to Hell, which allows him to drag someone with his large base, long move, which is hilarious and gives them incinerate. So if he
yeah.
wants to drag someone next to Hulk, incinerate them and get punched, that's always going to be
Oh yeah, that's
hilarious.
nasty.
And
Oh
then you've got
boy.
Siege of Darkness, which I expect to see in every single Midnight Suns list.
Any number of
So
allied Midnight Suns may spend 2 power. Each character that spent power may perform an attack. What
yep,
the fuck?
it's really good. It is the Midnight Suns card, and I imagine every single person has that.
So there's only two characters in this list that are not Midnight Suns. That's the Punisher and Luke Cage.
Mm.
But everyone else can get to pop off that. Oh man.
Yes, it's really good.
So I think we're going to see a lot of Immortal Hulks in Midnight Suns lists due to Blade's Bump in the Night leadership ability.
Yes.
Once per turn, during an allied character's activation, it may spend a power. If it does, place that character within range 1 of its current position. So characters like Ghost Rider and Immortal Hulk, who are on huge bases, it allows them to move for free quite a lot. Doctor Strange is also on a
On the
quite a large size base.
bigger base. It's not the
Yeah.
Hulk one, but it's definitely on the bigger size base. The Immortal Hulk also works well with Midnight Suns. You have the Bats of the Ghost Town tactic card. So you may spend 2 while modifying attack or defense dice, and you can change one of the allied characters' attack or defense dice to any result, including a skull. But
Oh yeah.
it means if you miss your swirly for a throw on Immortal Hulk or a hex on Ghost Rider, it just gives you that ability to do
Yeah, for
some
sure.
shenanigans. And you want
I
to be throwing on the Hulk all the time.
And I think with like so many useful characters and so many useful cards, that's actually quite a tricky. You got a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah. But I think this is the standard. If this is the standard middle of the ground list, it's gonna be it take a lot to beat it.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think so. All right, well let's move on to the second list. We have Civil War Team Cap.
Alrighty. Are we actually completely Team Cap?
Team Cap plus Daredevil.
And T'Challa?
I can't remember. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He kind of was impartial in the MCU, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Look, it's a cool themed list. I
It
like that
is.
he's got Daredevil in rather than doing a obvious one that like he didn't throw Spider-Man or
Yeah, or
Shield.
Wong or
Yeah, or throw it in one of the, big hitters that's just not another Hulk thrown in.
for sure.
It's,
So this is Avengers affiliation, and we do have the ability to run 2 leaders.
mm. Yeah, I was
But
just
I,
thinking that. I wonder which one he's going to favor towards. My gut feeling looking at it is maybe Sam Wilson.
I think there is a few smaller characters that so the difference in their leadership abilities. Steve Rogers, a day unlike any other, reduces the cost of the first superpower used by each allied character by 1. So every time you use the first time in a turn that you use a superpower, it costs you 1 less. And then Sam Wilson's is all new, all different. Anytime a allied character is dazed or KO'd, choose another non-dazed allied character. They remove a wound, remove a special condition, and advance short. So, in reality, looking at all of these characters, there is a lot of characters that don't have superpowers that cost a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, he definitely looks like it leans towards a Sam Wilson to me.
Yeah,
You could run Steve a bit bigger with Steve, Scarlet Witch, Bucky, and one other.
yeah, for sure.
It's a bit more heavy hitting, but yeah,
Uh,
definitely feels like a Sam Wilson list to me.
it does. I think as well, it would be really awesome running Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers, and the Winter Soldier because that allows you to play till the end of the line
True, that is actually really cool.
and it
He's
gives
also
you
got,
more options.
yeah, he's also looking at those extractions and secures. He's got quite the spread on them. They're not really stacked up central ones,
For sure.
so I think it encourages a bit of moving around.
And having played Sam Wilson Avengers myself, getting a 20 threat, a 20 threat
That's
game,
a lot of models to
it is
use.
so many. It's so
Which one?
many.
Which one is J? Is that just the three
J.
across the middle?
Does it
Let's
show
see.
me? Oh, it does show me on the map. It's oof. If you hover over map J, it shows you. It's horizontal. So there's 4 objectives, but they're all quite close together.
Oh, yes, okay. That'll be interesting.
Um,
I like this list. It's nice and
Especially with Steve Rogers in the middle throwing his shield everywhere.
quick.
The one of the tricky things about these team tactics. So we have Avengers Assemble, which is Avengers orientated, which is really good. Everyone gets to advance short.
Yeah, everyone will run that card with Avengers. It's just extra movement in a
Yeah.
action limited game. It's huge.
And Second Wind is another like staple Avengers card. Everyone gets to remove a stun and heal a wound.
Yep.
But there is a lot of cards in here that are character specific.
Yeah. I mean, it makes choosing which ones you're going to use a little bit easier sometimes.
It does, but if you say didn't include Ant-Man or Scarlet Witch and one of the Black Widows, then you're kind of like loopholed into
True. I
not
think
a
he's
huge amount of choices.
in some ways it seems to me that there's a bit of counterplay. Like he's got birds of prey. If they've got a flyer, they pick up. If you fight spider foes, he throws that in.
Yep.
No more mutants if there's something he just really doesn't want to deal with. He's got that to go.
What
He's
does No
got
More Mutants do?
if you're within 5 of them with Scarlet Witch and someone spends 1 or more energy to use a superpower or
Ooh.
special, she can spend 3 and then they just can't use it anymore.
That's
So
brutal.
there's some abilities that people have that you just don't want to deal with.
Definitely. That lets you use, like, let's say you were up against Captain America. It means you can't bodyguard or can't vibranium shield. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. So it seems like it's just got some tools in there for when he needs them.
for sure.
I think it's quite a good list.
Yeah, I think most people are going to have brace for impact and or patch up.
And patch up and hold the line. And although this one doesn't have it, but
Yeah, they're
so
yeah, really good.
there's a few generics in there that I think are staple in most people's.
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, this is actually surprisingly quite a fast moving list.
Yeah, he's got a lot of long moves.
Sam Wilson is long. I think Daredevil is long.
Natasha, one of the Natashas is long.
Yes, the
The
cheap
toss.
one.
You know,
And so is Black Panther.
Hawkeye's deceptively quick.
Yep,
Then
because
you
he
have
can
the
trick shot,
Haven.
hook arrow.
Yep. So there's they have and Captain Sam Wilson can also airlift people.
Yep, that's very very quick.
Yeah.
Um,
T'Challa has something too.
he
Oh
just
yeah.
moves long.
He also has a self throw.
Yes.
Throw himself small. So this is going to be quick.
Yeah, especially with the ideal setup of the objectives all being in the center of the board. This is a list that should be able to get there quite quick.
Yeah. It's got a bit of quickness and some shooting at the back. I think it's
For
quite
sure.
important.
Oh boy.
What are we moving on to next?
All right, next three. Hail Hydra.
I like this list. This is a fun list.
So, this is almost all of the Hydra characters. The only one that is missing is Spider-Woman.
Yes.
But instead we have Steve Rogers Captain America. So this is the World War II Steve Rogers Captain America.
So what's he do? Because not many people run him.
Yeah, so he's only Shield affiliated. He just does a lot of punching.
Yeah.
So Stars and Stripes, if you roll a wild and a block, he gets to make the attack again. And then I Don't Like Bullies is a range 2 7 dice attack with a throw of up to size 3, and they get thrown medium,
Yeah, that's gross.
and you can stun and slow them. If he's not holding an objective, he gets to advance medium. And I suspect that he will be played alongside the Sleeper Agent card.
Yeah.
So this is a Hydra card that
It'd have to only be played on him too, wouldn't it?
yes, because everyone else is Hydra. So effectively, he gets the subterfuge special rule, which means during his activation, enemy characters cannot use reactive superpowers or play reactive team tactics cards, and he keeps that special rule until he does an attack that doesn't daze or KO somebody.
Yeah, that's he's going to be able to do that a bit, isn't he?
Hopefully,
So-
especially with his 7 dice.
Looking at this has 4 leaders too, right? So you've got Strucker and Master Red Skull.
Yes.
Do Hydra, but then you could also run it as a Red Skull or Sin Cabal.
Correct. So it does give you a lot of flexibility.
Cheeky.
So if you look as well,
Given all the Midnight Suns and Bleed shenanigans and things, I think Baron Strucker's going to be...
yeah,
more
Baron
idea.
Strucker's a really interesting character. He's actually quite durable because he has healing factor and his leadership ability. If you attack somebody and do a damage to them, and you have a condition, you give that opposition a condition and you heal a wound.
You've seen a Midnight Suns, which is going to be throwing out bleeds and hexes and
Yeah.
things.
And if you have a look at the Two More Shall Rise Team Tactics card,
Yeah, this is one day. I'm actually not super familiar with Hydra. having not played it before.
So
When an allied Hydra
basically,
character with an active leadership ability is KO'd, another allied character may play this card. Choose 2 allied characters with Hydra or Cabal leadership abilities. Both chosen characters' leadership abilities become active. Holy shit.
so
That's
in theory, you would have to
bit
have
broke.
three leaders in your in your squad, right? But let's say Strucker is your leader, he gets taken out.
I mean, Strucker's only 3, Sin is only 3,
Yeah,
and
generic Red Skull is only 4.
Big Red Skull is going to be used a reasonably large amount, I imagine, too. He's quite the punching machine.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. But if you know, Strucker died and then you chose Red Skull and Sin to become your 2 new leaders, anytime an allied character damages an enemy character with an attack, they gain a power. So everyone's getting that. And you could also use Sin's leadership ability, which basically stops people from capturing objectives.
Yeah, that's really rude.
So interesting. There's a whole lot of
This list has a lot of shenanigans. I think
yeah. There's a lot to stay on top of. But yeah, it's interesting, and there's mostly it's got most of the Hydra cards in there. Red Skull, Master of Hydra. He can also summon his little Hydra minions.
Yes, that's true. They can capture objectives, which is also hilarious.
And then
Can
the
they
end.
capture objectives?
I can't
They can
remember.
Cures, but not extracts.
I think so. And then there's the Endless Legions card in here, where Red Skull, Master of Hydra, can play this card. Each time an allied Hydra troopers would be KO'd this round, remove all damage. They are not KO'd, they get pushed short instead. So basically, they just stay on the board for a whole turn.
Yeah, that's quite good.
A whole round, sorry. Which is quite nasty.
And even then, looking through it, Baron Zemo is always strong. So
Yeah.
Bob can just missile launch someone, which is hilarious.
Zemo is surprisingly fast because he moves long and he can do his charge attack.
Yeah. I think this is a good little list.
Crossbones and Sin work together quite well. If you activate Sin, you can immediately Partners in Crime and activate Crossbones directly after.
Yep, someone's done that to me before. That's really cool.
But yeah, so an interesting little list. There's a lot of moving pieces,
Yes.
I think, with that one.
Whoever's doing this is not going to want to have too many drinks.
Good suggestion.
They might get a bit lost.
Definitely. All right, list number 4.
What have we got? Yeah. Oh,
Sam's Avengers
with Pyro.
and Friends.
Yeah, okay. Look. This is definitely the first of the more cherry-picked lists.
I think so. I think, obviously, what do you got? Your only leader is going to be Sam Wilson. You don't have any choices.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, technically, you can't run Weapon X because Logan is the only Weapon X.
Yep, can't run Wakanda. He's owning Wakanda, and no one else.
Or
is
Convocation. Yeah, so Sam Wilson will be taken in every single one of these lists, which is interesting. He's a very solid character. I think he's. Yeah, you go.
Enough Avengers there to fill it out and then run. Yeah, big guys.
Absolutely. So you probably put in, I think, Captain America, maybe.
I think Natasha's there for your 2 points to kind of
Yeah.
get the odd numbers. Hulk, if you get a couple middle big things, you go on the Hulk. You get a bit more spread. You pick the lighter ones.
If you look down at their crisis cards, they're all 17s and 20s.
Yeah,
So they're hoping to play big.
Yeah, and looking at it, I mean, you've got Iron Man with Helios, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
Logan is, can some people consider one of the best punchers? I think Sabretooth's a bit better, but he's very quick. He does lots of damage. Pyro's in there, obviously, to incinerate people. OG Hulk's in there, widely considered one of the best models in the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's
Beta Ray
Beta
Bill
Ray
is
Bill.
brutal as well.
He's brutal. He's definitely considered one of the best Asgardians, if not the best.
Yep.
There's a lot of just good things piled into a list that's gonna go big and punch a lot of stuff.
Bill is also immune to a lot of conditions, which is he's immune to bleed, incinerate, and poison, which is very useful.
Two of the nastier ones, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we've got brace for impact and patch up in the team tactics.
Yeah. Avengers Assemble, pretty standard.
Absolutely.
Heroes for hire, so Luke Cage can keep, Logan and Hulk out of danger, really.
For sure.
Then you've got Helios, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. I think because the more power you spend on this, the more dice you roll, right?
Yeah,
Dice,
so
yeah.
hearing Tony Stark's activations, interestingly, it can be used with any of the Iron Mans.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because I think this comes with the Hulkbuster, actually.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So during his activation, any number of allied characters within range can pay energy.
Ooh.
There's no range, sorry, so it's in board wide.
Yeah.
And then he activates the laser, which is 5 range, 2 damage, 2
2 dice.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he adds a dice for every single energy spent. And
That's
if he rolls a wild, which you're probably going to roll a wild,
yeah.
enemy characters within 2 also take a hit.
I think as well with Beta Ray Bill, because he's Asgardian, he's generating extra power.
Yeah.
You can quite easily spend half a dozen power on that, no problems.
I think you'd see this played late in the game when either last turn or 2, you just need someone off an objective.
For sure.
You put 15 power into the thing.
Oh.
Nuke someone from orbit.
Yeah.
And they're not surviving that.
One of my interestingly favourite cards as well is Eyes on the Prize. This is a really tricky one because it lets you interact with objectives at range 2 instead of range 1.
Yes, that is a cheeky little card that people don't often remember.
It is.
There.
So yeah, and there's a lot of very utility crisis team tactics cards here. Kick them while they're down.
Yes.
And fall back.
Nice.
For sure.
Oh, I think this is definitely someone who's gone for the win.
Yeah, look, it's definitely they've definitely thought about what they've put in. Everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll be interesting. Interesting to see who ends up, how this list ends up going.
Quite well, and I imagine.
I think so. Yeah. All right, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Oh, go back. Another one.
My pet hate list. Nope. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Almost Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Almost. This person did me a dirty.
So
could have had Hawkeye.
Yes.
Just did a dirty. Even War Machine.
Yeah.
But Jessica Joy is very, very good.
Absolutely.
Understandable.
She's stealth. She's martial artist. She can basically be placed within range 2 of herself. And she can interrogate people at the start of the cleanup phase. If this character is within 2 of 1 or more dazed enemy characters, you can use this superpower. Its controlling player may increase the amount of victory points they score from crisis cards this cleanup phase by 1.
Oh, that's really, really good.
Very nasty.
Yes, that swings games.
So we have two potential leaders. We have Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. But I think looking at the like strength and power of all the characters, I think you're going to see Steve Rogers as the leader 99% of the time,
Yeah, he needs the cost reduction on a
for
lot of these
sure.
abilities. Wanda's very heavy costed. Hulk is, Thor is,
Yeah.
Spider Woman is to an extent too.
Yeah, on Wanda's Cruel Twist costs 6 power. Only costing 5 makes it a little bit more achievable,
I think five and you nail someone with it and do another
for
couple
sure.
abilities.
Even Quicksilver, his being able to free advance long, only costing 1 power, is huge.
Yeah, I mean this could very well play Sam. If he ran Sam, Black Widow, Quicksilver, Iron Man, and one other, but I
Yeah.
don't think he will. I think it's a Steve list.
If we look down at the crisis cards as well, they're mostly 17, 18s, and 20s. So trying to go for that high.
Interesting. No one's gone for the 15, 16s, have they?
Um, I
Not yet.
think I think the Hydra list did. The Hydra list had a couple. That's a big spread.
Oh
19,
yes.
17, 15, 17, 16, 19.
Well, the Hydra person should be picking those all the time. Everyone's going to not know what to do without picking everything.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the when I played Sam Wilson Avengers. There was a couple of games where you pick very low threat level, and it forces somebody like if this Age of Ultron had to play 15, you're only getting Scarlet Witch or Thor or Hulk,
Yeah, you'd losing all of their power pieces.
or they're playing 3. So that's rough.
I I agree. He's got some good cards. I mean, he's got Brace. He's got Avengers Assemble. You
Yep.
kind of expect to see those with all of them.
Ricochet Blast is really good as well because it can pop off of Iron Man and either of the Captain Americas.
Oh, so if you're on both, you could be cheeky with it.
Yeah, so it makes it a lot harder to defend against.
He's got Smash, one of my favorite cards,
Yeah,
just
so
because it's good fun to make Thor or Hulk suddenly do a shitload of dice.
or even Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that's very true.
Um,
Yeah, that's actually really true.
Spend 2 power, destroy a piece of terrain, add the size of the terrain, add the terrain size in dice to the attack is brutal, especially when
Mystic.
Scarlet Witch. Oh no, she doesn't have a. I thought she had an area attack.
No, but she has. Don't forget that she counts skulls when attacking, defending, and dodging.
Oof.
And when if she uses her spender, they don't count crits.
Ooh.
So she yeah, with if she smashes and cruel twists someone, they're dead.
Yeah, pretty
Don't think
much.
many people live through that.
Um, you know, rolling potentially 11 dice at something
Yeah, I mean
is.
that can almost knock a Hulk out.
Yep. And
Hilarious.
it's really, really good. Smash is really, really good on Hulk's Thunderclap as well.
That's true.
His little beam attack. Very cool, especially if he's a little bit angrier.
Yeah, and he's got some cheeky stuff in there too. Can I borrow that? Can snake a asset token off someone.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with Quicksilver potentially being able to move like 3 longs in a turn.
Yeah,
Very good
double
board
agent
control.
as well. Double
Yes.
agent, good laugh. Spider Woman can play too. Choose an enemy character. The next time the chosen character gains an activated token, remove one from yourself.
So she gets 2 activations in a turn.
Yeah, that's quite good if you can plan it out. It'll take some planning, but yeah.
Is Inspiring Monologue. Oh no, Inspiring Monologue just lets you reroll dice. There is an Avengers card that lets you activate somebody immediately after.
1, 2 punches, isn't it? No. I know the one you're thinking of.
But yeah,
Uh,
that would be brutal. But
think the last person had, didn't they? No.
I don't know. It's tricky. But yeah, the Age of Ultron. There's a lot of heavy hitters in there. That's I just
It's the good old Avengers list with
yeah.
some added fun to it.
I
And
think this person is hoping that they get big big threat level, and they can just
punch
absolutely
on.
dominate.
Yeah, it's just a good old standard list that should do well.
Yes, fingers crossed. All right, on to the Brotherhood. So
Well,
this is something that you've played quite a lot.
yeah, I've got a bit of experience with this. It's interesting to see the Hulk. So you've got all the standards. You've got Magneto and Mystique, allows you to run either or. So Miss Magneto's very much go the couple big heavy hitters, throw stuff around, and just get a central objective.
So
Mystique,
anytime terrain is destroyed,
he gets
uh,
energy.
anyone gets energy.
And so the big thing is he can do unlimited throws up to how much energy he has.
Oh
So he
boy.
actually can throw if you get him up to 10 energy. He throws a lot.
Yeah, right.
The standard Magneto Juggernaut plus Rogue or someone, you go quite big or you go very wide with Mystique. Um, Pyro's in there. He does the
Yeah.
incinerates. He's taken the new Sabretooth, who's very good. Arguably my favorite Weapon X.
Yeah,
Toad with Snaky on objectives. He's got Logan in there. Not really a Brotherhood, but he's a very good. Logan's just very strong. I think a lot of people
for
think
sure.
he's very good. Um, Interesting. I don't understand the Hulk personally. I don't know when you would run the Hulk. Um,
It would be difficult, and I don't know. I mean, you could run it at 19. You could run Hulk, Juggernaut, and Magneto. It wouldn't be very good, but it would be fun as hell.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
feel something Blob or something like that helps you with the Mystique version when you want to run that. And
yeah,
Juggernaut's almost as good as the Hulk slash better in some circumstances.
for sure.
So, but look, it's the good standard Brotherhood list.
Juggernaut
Asteroid.
doesn't have any throws, does he?
I
No, he
don't think so.
doesn't.
But he just punches people
For
and
sure.
keeps running and keeps punching.
All right, let's have a
Um,
look at their tactics cards.
he's
Anything?
got Asteroid M's the classic good, allows you to move someone around. He's
Yep,
got patch up. Everyone runs patch up. He's got
yep.
magnetic refraction is quite cheeky. Gives everyone cover.
Oh, that's really cool. While within
Um,
range 3 of Magneto. Yeah, right.
so that's
And you
very
get to
good.
use it twice? Oof.
Yes.
Wowee.
Interestingly, he doesn't have the cheeky Mystique card, which is
Deception. Yeah, yeah, it's there.
mm, oh yep, there it is. You're
Choose
right.
an enemy character within 4 of this character of Mystique. If there are no other non-days enemy characters within 2, you may advance the chosen character at speed towards Mystique. So,
Just get off an
real.
objective on the last
Yep.
turn.
Come stand right in front of Sabretooth, please.
Yeah,
Very,
but
very good.
it's a good list. Brotherhood, I'd say, are in the top couple factions. Usually
Yeah,
do quite well.
especially with Mystique's, having the option to swap out and have Mystique's leadership ability, being
Yeah.
able to,
Sorry. The fact that you have the same list and you can go from punching on with someone to someone, drops Midnight Suns, drops the Hulk blade and someone else, and you go, no, I'm just going to out objective you.
for
It's
sure,
very,
because you could go one, two, what's that, six, three, four. You could quite easily, quite comfortably get five
yeah,
characters, maybe even six at a higher points level.
easily. Yeah, and it's quite a lot of spread.
And looking at the crisis cards, they're all on the higher end, obviously, to get those bigger characters, especially Magneto and Juggernaut, in there.
Mm. It'll be interesting to see what he wants to play. Most people tend to kind of have a lean towards Mystique or Juggernaut.
For sure.
This looks to me like a leading a bit more towards Magneto.
I think so, especially looking at all the different cards.
Mm.
And exceptional healing can pop off of 2 of the characters in there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite good. Potentially more of a leaning towards Sabretooth, because there is a Happy Birthday Runt, which is for Sabretooth.
There's also you can also play it deceptively, like a Magneto Juggernaut Rogue is a 19, and they all take -1 damage. They all have a lot of health. They all
Yeah,
do
right.
so you can be deceptively very.
Quite resilient.
Mm. So
Interesting.
I think it's a good roster. It's a very good roster, having played it before.
Yeah, for sure. Did you win that tournament? The
Yes,
tournament where you ran them?
that was that first one.
Yeah,
They just do everything.
very versatile.
Mm.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. Pure Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, this is a cool list. This person wants to play Guardians and have picked all the Guardians.
Yep, very, very cool. So their only leader is Star-Lord.
Yep.
So this is very good. Every character, well, 3 characters get a wing in it token, and a wing in it token allows you to attack, defend, or dodge, and re-roll up to 2 of your dice. Very, very useful, especially on some of the more, like on Angela, Beta Ray Bill, the characters that are rolling lots of dice. It gives you the potential to do lots of damage.
Fucking a little Groot shit when he and Raccoon when they pop off both together.
For sure.
He's also gone quite a 17 to 19. He wants to play as many as he can.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like they have what they got two threats, a bunch of 3s and 4s. You know, at threat level 19, you're getting what 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can quite comfortably get, holy fuck, 6 models, 7 models.
Yeah, he can go quite high.
Where's me breakdown? I can actually. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can quite comfortably get 6.
Yeah, he can go 6 at quite a few power
For
levels.
sure. Yeah, really cool.
Fuck, he can go 6 at 17.
Yeah,
Really
that is. And they're not like.
Does he have the gem on Ronan? He doesn't, does he?
I don't think so.
Okay, interesting.
I don't. Let me just double check.
No, it doesn't look like it. It's not there.
I can't remember. Just quickly.
Ronan is quite power hungry, but he's also not many people use him. I think this will do fine. I think it'll be fun. It's definitely not the most cherry picked power list ever.
Oh, I'm a dum dum. Ronan does have the power gem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just gonna quickly edit that.
Just gives him a bit more leeway to play with his abilities.
For sure.
He's got Creed Justice as an 8 dice energy attack. Hopefully, no one has to play him with Venom, because that's going to be bad news for him.
Yes, definitely. We've got most of the cool little Guardians of the Galaxy cards, which is cool.
Any that stand out. There's one that stands out to me.
Foreign Assignment is. There's a lot of words on this card, but essentially adding Agent Venom into the Guardians is awesome. Because effectively, Agent Venom can spend a bunch of power and do a ridiculous amount of stuff.
So you can spend 2, and you can spend multiples of 2 to do all the things.
Correct. So you could, if you need Gamora, you spend 2, you get thrown medium.
Yeah.
Then if you're within range 2 of Groot, you heal 3 wounds. You go near Star-Lord, then Star-Lord gets to attack and Venom gets to move small. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot of that's a lot of reading.
yeah. Obviously, I think Guardians are a very synergistic force.
Very objective, focused, synergistic.
Yes, Gamora, my mortal nemesis, she
Ugh,
does ridiculous amounts of damage.
yeah. Deadly Duo is my nemesis. That thing gets me every bloody time.
Deadly Duo. Oh, is this?
When Root makes Raccoon shoot 3 bloody plasma rifle things.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of attacks.
Yeah, and Angela, if you've never played against her, she just does a lot of damage. Just
Um,
runs in and flails around and kills lots of people.
yeah, right. And then she attacks and then gets to be placed within 2 of a target. That's really useful, very quick, especially because she's move long and she can
And
fly.
she's on the big base.
Oof. And because she's Asgardian, she gets 2 power return.
Yeah, she's quite
Um,
good.
holy moly. Enemy characters cannot reroll or change attack dice when targeting this character with attacks. What the fuck?
Yeah, she's an Asgardian.
And she can throw size 4.
She's definitely an Asgardian.
Oh man, that is crazy.
She is 5, so she's competing with the likes of the Juggernaut,
For
um,
sure.
big Sorcerer Supreme, or what's his name? Well, I'm having a mental blank.
Almost with Thanos
Yeah, you know,
getting
being
up there.
being 5, she's definitely the pricier end of life, but she's worth it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
Crew of the Milano, that's a really brilliant card. Any number of Guardians of the Galaxy characters may spend a power. Each character that spends a power removes all special conditions and cannot suffer special conditions this round.
wow, removes all.
Yep,
Mm,
that's
that
brutal.
that hurt.
That's the anti Midnight Suns and Hydra card.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck with that.
Lovable Misfits, same thing. Like, a lot of their cards are, hey, everyone gets to do a thing.
Yeah,
Everyone spends a power, and then you roll a dice and they get to do something. It could be attack, it could be.
this is going to be a fun list to play.
I think so.
I think you go there with this and have a good day of doing silly things.
Follow Me, that's the card I was trying to think of. I thought it was an Avengers card.
Oh yeah,
Spend 6 power, you get to activate somebody immediately after.
that is the one. Have fun when Gamora activates unexpectedly your
Yeah.
best mate.
Or, like, an Agent Venom, does all his stuff and flips into the middle of the opponents, and then, yeah, somebody else activates. Whew.
Mm, yeah, it'll be fun. I like
What,
this list.
what does the
This is
Power Gem do?
+1 power every turn.
Oof.
So it just allows Ronin. Oh, actually, it's 2 extra power.
Yeah, 2 instead of 1. Because
Yeah.
if you have a Power Stone, a Infinity
So
Gem, you normally get 1.
He's getting 3 a turn,
Yeah, that's crazy.
which means he's, handing out judgment quite often, which
For
is
sure.
really good. And I don't think there's many things in the game that do judgment. I think this is one.
Um, yeah, very. I think there's a couple of the Convocation maybe, but that's it.
I mean, judgment is very strong. You
Yes.
literally don't get power when suffering damage from attacks.
Yep. Yep. Very
Actually
good.
ridiculous.
Especially if you can, like, Ronan the Accuser plus Gamora or Beta Ray Bill or potentially even Rocket. That's your way to chip a lot of damage off a Hulk, because you can use Ronan, put a judgment token on somebody, and then follow me to activate somebody else immediately afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, that's quite nasty.
Yeah, and the old safety net card, recalibration matrix. That's the oh no, I done goofed. I need a do-over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rerolls in this are strong. Anytime you can get something that rerolls.
Definitely. And we're hoping to play 17, 18, or 19 threat level there.
I think he'll be going wide, very wide,
Yeah,
a
for
lot of
sure.
games. He will probably outmodel people most games.
Yes, yes. And outmaneuver them when he does.
Hmm.
All right. Midnight Suns slash Asgard.
Hmm. Is it
So,
Asgard?
yes, because you've got
I got Winter Soldier.
and Thor and Beta Ray Bill. So,
Yeah.
like,
They can run what up to 5.
Immortal Hulk, Thor, and Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
this is the outside of Hydra person. He's got some 15s and 16s for the first time.
oh yeah,
And he's got gamma waves with Immortal Hulk.
that's brutal. Please stand in the middle of the board, please.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah, it is right in the middle. And if you're not standing within range 2 of one of the objectives, you take a damage,
Yep.
which is
But
brutal.
he's got all the stuff you want from Midnight Suns. Blades there for the
Yeah,
leadership ability to bump the Hulk. Wong's there to heal the Hulk.
yep. Doctor Voodoo's
Ghost
there to drop objectives.
Winter Soldier. Look, he's there, I think, for Asgard if he wants to run 4 or 5 wide Asgard. But
Correct.
Winter Soldier himself is just sits at the back with range 5 and does little pings at people.
Yeah, definitely. I think because he's a rogue agent, you can count him as an affiliated character during squad building. That's awesome. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He just sits back with his 4 dice attack, range 5, popping out bleeds. If you get a hit, he gets to shoot again. Yeah, real good. And if you remember it, I never remember it. Anytime someone is dazed or KO'd, he gets to shoot at the person who dazed or KO'd them,
Yes.
which is quite good. He can just hunker down behind some cover and dish out a lot of damage. But yeah, so we've got some. This is obviously actually intending to sometimes run Asgard because we have 2 Asgard affiliation cards.
Mm.
So Rainbow Bridge, any number of allied Asgard characters that are not holding objectives, basically just get to teleport within 3 of where they were standing. Not
Yeah. Gotta be
not
Asgard,
terrible.
though, so you can't use it on cheeky Hulk shenanigans.
Correct. Correct. And then Doom Prophecy.
Can you use that on Winter Soldier?
No, because he's only Winter Soldiers
Only list
during
building.
squad building. Yes, correct.
Mm.
Doom Prophecy. An allied character, Asgard character, can spend 3 power. This character cannot roll defense dice against physical attacks for the. Hang on. Let me just read that again. At the start of the activation phase, an allied Asgard character may spend 3 power to play this card. This character cannot roll defense dice against physical attacks for the rest of the game. What? Additionally, this character adds dice up to its physical attacks. I'm so confused.
Sorry, had to grab a drink. Which one are you reading?
Doomed Prophecy. Explain that to me. I don't get it. Oh, okay.
This character cannot roll defense dice against physical attacks for the rest of the game, so they lose their physical defense. But he adds its.
Oh, you add
So
your
it adds.
attacks.
So you basically, if you look at Thor
Yeah.
loses his physical defense. So 4 physical defense is gone. He no
Yeah.
longer defends against physical. But his strike now becomes 10 dice.
Gotcha.
God of Thunder now becomes an 11 dice area too.
Okay. I getcha. So this is
High
like
risk,
a.
high reward.
Yep. I getcha. Look, that's really, really useful as well if you're playing against something like Convocation that doesn't actually do any physical damage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think lots of the lists we've looked at so far are physical, but
Yes. But I mean, end of the game,
if you need
Thor
to throw
dropping
ev-
in,
if you
yeah,
need to throw everything into getting that one person off an objective,
yeah,
you know, Beta Ray Bill's also got 4 physical defense, so that's a
yep,
lot of extra dice. He's
yeah,
got
that's
the old
brutal.
Siege of Darkness, the nasty card where everyone gets to attack.
Siege of
He
Darkness. This
also
is your
has Seance. Seance was the card that wasn't on the other Midnight Suns list, but it's
uh,
more Doctor Voodoo bullshit.
so Siege of Darkness first only affects Midnight Suns characters, so not any of the
Mm.
Asgardians.
This is the
Um,
one from before where they get
yes,
to be move or they immediately make a 0 cost attack.
yeah, so they all get to make their regular attack, which is brutal. Um, and that does affect Immortal Hulk as well because he is Midnight Suns affiliated, so he's rolling 7 dice just cause.
And throwing if he rolls a flurry.
Yeah, and throwing, yeah.
But
Um,
the big thing with that as well is that's an out of turn. If, like,
yes,
for example, you throw your smash out, you don't need to do much damage, but it suddenly gives you the energy to gamma burst and gamma leap.
for sure.
Huge.
Yeah, yeah. You just build up some energy. Yeah, really, really good. Especially, I think there's a couple of Midnight Suns that have reactive powers as well.
Hmm.
So Ghost Rider, Wicked Judgment, like being able to pop those reactive superpowers because you've actually built up that energy. Quite good.
Yes. So
Um,
the other nasty one is Seance. So
Seance.
obviously, Voodoo's got his brother Daniel token.
Yep,
Um, so he adds, while he's got the token himself, he adds 2 dice to his defense and dodge rolls. But you can also move it to others to deny them the objectives, as we talked about before.
yep.
But the Seance means he adds extra dice,
Two
but it
additional
also,
dice.
while his brother Daniel token, oh, sorry, while another character has his brother Daniel token, that character does not add dice to its attack, defense, or dodge rolls when adding dice for crits.
Oh boy,
Just a way for big old Hulk to really smash someone.
for sure.
It's
Yeah,
quite
right. That is very nice.
it's quite a good list, and I think the Thor and Beta Ray will throw people off a bit.
Yeah.
They won't see it
Um,
coming.
Gamma Drain, this is the card that comes to the Mortal Hulk that everyone was freaking out over. This is quite a nasty card. Choose an enemy character within range 2. They gain a Gamma Drain token. The Immortal Hulk places this token on an active or reactive superpower. When a superpower marked with a Gamma Drain token is used, after the effect is resolved, Immortal Hulk gains power equal to the power spent to use the superpower.
Yeah,
Brutal.
very good, especially because he likes power.
Yes. Useful on those characters that, like Captain America, where you're going to resist and use it to bodyguard quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, and an immortal Hulk. We haven't really touched on him. He's brutal, has a lot of wounds, and effectively, if you don't, what's the easiest way to summarize it? He's really hard to kill.
He's really hard. He's the immortal Hulk.
Yes.
He's arguably people like to compare him to the other Hulk and throw around which one's better, but realistically, he does a lot of damage. He does a lot of throws. He can throw size 4, which is amazing.
That's huge.
He gets lots of power and he's immortal. Um,
Yeah.
if he gets dazed after you do 15 wounds, he gets a token. Um, and yeah, flips back. If
Yeah.
he has if he has the token and he's KO'd again, then he dies. So he is killable technically.
The
However, at
only
the end
yeah,
of each turn, and that every time someone has a go, he if he has the immortality token, he may remove 1 damage from himself. And if he removes all the damage, he removes the immortality token.
yeah,
So yeah, he's quite hard to kill. He's susceptible to getting really heavily blown out of the gate,
yeah.
but if you don't, he will live.
And his weakness is energy attacks. I mean, it's not much, but you know, blasting him with a bunch of energy real quick is gonna do a lot of damage. Basically, you just have to do 30 wounds to him in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, but he's deceptively hard to kill, especially if
Yes.
you've got a annoying Wong running around
Little
healing him.
Wong. Yep. So Wong can what does he do? Spend a single
Extend,
power as one of his actions and heal 2 wounds, and or a special condition.
he just keeps the whole cup.
And the annoying thing is, I think I've used Wong once. You can just spend an action to get a power, and then spend an action to heal somebody. That's your whole turn. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. And this, I think the crisis cards here are all over the place, which is good. So you've got some highs, you've got some lows, good spread. But this roster has the ability to play all points levels.
Yeah, good all rounder. And as I said, I think Thor and the Beta Ray are gonna throw people off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right, let's have a look at what if I stole it.
Mm,
So this person has told me that they this is the Adepticon list, I think.
yeah, it's
The
looking like
one
it.
Adepticon. They're like, I haven't had time to think about what I'm going to take, so I'm taking that list.
Yeah, look, I didn't read much about Adepticon or watch much, but from my understanding, your real go-to is take Star-Lord, take Thanos, and take Gamora, I think it is. And you're
So
basically using Star-Lord to give out
winging it
winging it
tokens.
tokens to
Yep.
Thanos and letting Thanos run around and do Thanos things.
Yep. So spending a winging it token allows you to re-roll 2 attack, defend, or dodge dice. Huge on Thanos, especially that Thanos has 2 gems. So,
Yep.
I mean, Thanos' attacks are already brutal. He does a ridiculous amount of damage. And he has the Space Gem, which allows you or another character to basically teleport their position, which is crazy. And the Reality Gem lets you treat one of your skulls as a crit every time you attack, defend, or dodge, or interact.
Mm. And he's getting 2 extra power a turn too.
Correct.
Yeah. So what's that? 3, 11, 14 if you're running Gamora, Star-Lord, and Thanos. So he throws one more in and
Yeah.
does some shenanigans.
Having a look at
Everything.
the crises, we've got a 15 on each side and 2 19s on each side.
Mm. So what's that? Star-Lord, Thanos is 11, and Beta Ray or
Yeah.
two of the twos, so Rocket, Toad, and Nebula.
Yep. Very
Or he
fast
runs,
moving.
yeah, or he runs 19. I mean, he's got this list has all the good stuff in there. You've got Toad, who's one of the better objective grabbers in the game. He can
For
grab
sure.
objectives within 2. He's just very quick and quite tanky for a little fucking 2 threat, 5 wound. And
Yeah.
when he gets hit, he can pay 2 to move.
Yes.
Um, Mystique is in there probably purely for deception. Yep, that's down there. So yep,
Deception.
you turn you either running someone towards Thanos to get decked, or
Yeah.
last turn popping someone off an objective, scoring you some points.
for sure. We've got the Deadly Duo card there for Rocket and Groot. We've
Mm,
got We Are Groot. Um, oh boy. Groot may spend 3 power to play this card. Groot and allied characters within range 4 remove 2 wounds.
mm.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um,
Look, the interesting thing, as you everyone knows, if you can win Adepticon, your list is pretty good.
yeah.
But I don't think it's autopilot.
No, it's a little bit of thinking.
If they haven't had much time to make lists and therefore maybe not had much time to practice,
Yeah.
it could be a roughie compared to just running some simple stuff. But if they've had some practice at it, it's going to be a tough one to beat.
The interesting thing as well, another thing I just noticed that the Power of the Cosmos Team Tactics card. So it's an area 1 attack that rolls 6 dice. Thanos can spend 4 power to play it.
Coach navigated this fucking thing.
Add 1 to the range of this attack for each Infinity Gem. So he's adding 2 to that range. So it's area
Yeah.
3. Rolling 6 dice. And if you're winging it, you get to re-roll 2 of those. And then everyone gets pushed away short. So it's really good for pushing people off objectives.
Yeah, I think Coach one-shot Rogue with that.
Oof. That is
So
brutal.
yeah, I know all about that one. Yeah,
But
it's a good look. It's a good list, but we know
yeah.
it's a good list.
The I think the trap, you're spending 11 power before you start, because you've stacked Thanos in there and you're
Yeah,
taking Star Lord, so you're spending 11 power before you even.
and I think you could technically run Mystique's Brotherhood, but you would never do it. You're always going to run Star Lord.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be 2, 5. Oh yeah, I guess you could
You could
5
run Mystique
and
totally as
Thanos.
a soldier.
Oh yeah, true, true, true,
So
true,
he's
true,
got
true.
options to play super wide, but
Yeah,
I think the strategy here is Star Lord Thanos plus.
Rocket and Groot, by the looks of most of the cards, is the plan.
Yeah, and it works out. I mean, you've got Thanos, Star Lord, and the forecast, or you've got Thanos, Star Lord, and then 8 points to play with.
Yeah,
So Groot, Rocket, and Mystique or
Mystique
Bucky.
probably gets a little bit of play there. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So it does what it does. If anyone has a way to deal with Thanos,
Yeah,
they might
and
have a good chance, but he's pretty hard to kill.
definitely. A lot of generic cards there as well. Mark for Death is always a good one. Um, you can rob a character of stealth, and their speed becomes short, and they can't modify or re-roll defense dice. So that's really useful for when you want somebody to die.
Super true.
Escort to safety as well. Move things around, especially with Thanos having the space gem. You can actually move a lot of. You have a lot of board control with that list. It's going to be interesting, but I think it's not as straightforward as what it might appear to be.
I think this is one of those traps where the person who's done that well on it to win a
Yeah,
100-person event has played, 50 plus games with it,
for
perfected
sure.
it, and just to jump straight into it could work, or could
Yeah,
not work.
for sure. Well, we'll find out on Sunday, I guess.
Exactly. What have you got
Speaking
next?
of speaking of Thanos, we have pure Black Order now.
Yeah, this is a cool little list. I've actually started building it on the down low.
Yeah, I've got
But
all my Black Order built so that we could play the Ultimate Encounter.
no, I think it's all the Black Order plus the movie MCU
For sure.
associated.
Yep.
Gamora, Ronan, and Nebula. It all
Yep.
fits the kind of theme. It's probably the first complete theme, maybe. Oh, the
Yeah,
Hydra
it's
was good too. The Hydra one was good too.
for
But,
sure.
it's purely on theme, but has all the tricks. You can run Thanos with his double gems, or you can run Corvus and Proxima as
For
your.
sure. So he's got the time gem. Thanos has the time gem. Um, he can just spend 2 power to reroll all of his attack or defense dice.
Mm.
including skulls, which is huge. And then the Mind Stone, choose an enemy character, just move short.
Yep. Interestingly, it
Oh,
doesn't have
enemy
the
character. Oh, jeez, that's cool.
yeah, doesn't have the space stone. Going for the mind stone instead.
Is the Space Stone restricted?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, because we've got the Reality Gem on Corvus Glaive,
Yes. And
which
we
is really
have
cool.
first of the Black Order. So if your squad does not contain Thanos the Mad Titan after deployment, you normally select your leadership ability. Corvus Glaive may play the card, and he gains a leadership ability. So
Yeah.
when the Black Order character dazes or KOs an enemy character, all other Black Order characters gain one energy.
I actually
Not
think that this is really good.
it's look the leadership ability itself. I don't think is the greatest one in the game, but I actually almost prefer the Corvus Proxima
For
please
sure.
combo than the Thanos combo.
Yeah. I think, you're getting Corvus Glaive with a gem and Proxima Midnight for the same cost as Thanos.
Hmm. And
Um,
they have their little doubly attack as well, just
yeah,
less.
so when you use Wife of Corvus Glaive at the end of the character's activation, if it's within range 3 of Corvus Glaive, this character may use a superpower. If Corvus Glaive does not have an activator token, he may activate before your turn
And,
ends.
and Corvus has the opposite. He has husband, so
Oh,
they both
really?
do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
man,
so good. I thought it was only one way. That's real good.
it's very good.
Then, if you want to be a total burden on your opponent, they also have the Follow Me card in this Team Tactics. So, in theory, you could activate 3 characters in a row before your opponent gets to do anything.
Yeah, that's rude. Fun, but rude.
Yeah,
I like
but
this.
it's
This has
costing
got a
you a
lot
lot
of
of
good.
power.
It is. Lots of good stuff in here. Black Swan Super Giant are good. Gamora we know is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ronan without the gem I think's a bit of a waste, but
I mean, you got to have a
he,
10th character, right?
he fits the theme for a 10th.
Yeah.
Nebula's there to just fill in a 2 if you ever need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ebony Moore's now. I'm not a big fan of Ebony Moore, but he's, he does
Situational, really good.
a lot of mystic damage.
Yeah. And he has
I mean,
the Sh card, which lets you. When an enemy character within 5 of Ebony Moore spends 1 or more power to use a superpower, Ebony Moore may spend 3 power to play this card. The enemy's superpower has no effect and cannot be used again for the rest of this turn, but they
like,
still spend their power.
that's the mini version of No More Mutants.
Yes.
And I mean, he's there. He's your Logan counter, I guess. They pick. You think they're gonna pick Logan? You grab
For sure.
Ebony, and he just mystics him off the board.
Oh yeah, and especially as well because you you can move people as well if you roll a wild with your black tongue,
He has a size 4 throw too.
and he gets 3 power a turn. That's brutal.
Size 4 long throw.
That is crazy
Yeah, this list is strong.
for sure. And then obviously you've got okay, interesting with the crisis cards. There is a 15 in there and a couple of 17s. I
Yeah, you could
guess because you've
15,
got Corvus, you could run Corvus and a bunch of the 3s and 2s.
5, 8. Yeah, you could do a, Corvus Proxima. That's 8. Gamora. That's 12. Plus a Super Giant. That's
Yeah.
4 at 15. You could probably run it if you run Super Giant Nebula. 8, 10, 13.
Oh man, Supergiant does mystic damage as well.
Yes. Yes, this
Oh
is, I think,
boy,
if you have a look at statistics, yeah, this is probably the most uh,
varied.
varied damage spread out of most
Yeah.
units.
Um, the statistics does only attack their base attack, their builder attack. But I
So,
think
Supergiant has that hilarious thing where if they roll a crit swirly 2 skulls and 2 hits,
Yep.
they daze someone instantly. It's
Yep.
hilarious when it happens. If you
Brutal.
if you're not doing well and you're on those bottom tables, that's when you crank out the silly moves like that.
Oh, even the final attack of a game to take somebody out to stop them scoring an objective. Like, what do you got to lose, right?
Exactly. And get
That's
a
yeah,
laugh out of it.
absolutely. Blood Despair. What's that card? Oh yeah, I hate this card so much. When you would daze a black order character, it may spend 3 power to play this card. They perform an attack before they gain their daze token. If the attack results in the character removing damage, it is not dazed.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nasty. Alright, 2 more to go. So we have another Midnight Suns,
Number 3.
but this is potentially Midnight Suns slash Cabal slash Criminal Syndicate.
Can it run? Oh yeah, it can. Yeah, what an interesting list.
A lot
That's
in here.
that's a lot of. So I ran where you could run X Force with 3 different leaders and Hellfire Club, and it's a lot of effort thinking about which
For
one you want
sure.
to do.
In
So these,
reality, you've probably got your like go-to, right? And with this having Blade and Immortal Hulk, that's probably your core.
yeah, yeah, you'd have 2 cores, right?
Yeah.
Your Blade, your Immortal Hulk, and your Moon Knight is one core,
Yep, yep,
and then you've got your Sin, Crossbones, probably Viper as your second core.
yep. Bullseye's
Tech,
nice and cheap.
I mean, you could technically got a Kingpin, Hood, and Bullseye core too. It's kind of
Yeah.
there's a lot in this list. It's I think someone's just picked all the models they like, which is cool.
So we have Illicit Tech as a Team Tactics card, which is really good on Sin or Crossbones. Effectively, it gives Crossbones an attack that can actually do something at range. So it gives him a range 5, 6 dice attack. You can give it to Sin as well, but when you activate Sin, you immediately get to activate Crossbones afterwards. Sin is a move medium, whereas Crossbones is a move short. So you kind of need to keep them together. So giving one of them Illicit Tech allows them to do something. And Crossbones, I think, he struggles because he needs to be within range 2 before he starts really gaining energy. So I think giving Crossbones the Illicit Tech helps him generate power so he can actually be useful.
Yeah.
If we run Criminal Syndicate, there's 2 cards in there, No Mercy and Cruel Tutelage. So No Mercy is really good when an allied character would daze an enemy. You may play this card. The character gains 3 power.
He definitely has all the makings of potentially running 3 different
Yep,
rosters.
I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely, even if you take Cabal out of the mix, definitely Midnight Suns and Criminal Syndicate. Because Kingpin is awesome. His leadership ability is like crazy. You get to just swap an asset or civilian token to another character,
Yeah.
which is really cool. So you can just like, in theory, if you're playing a game where you could have multiple objectives, multiple extract tokens on somebody, like hammers, you could just handball them all to Immortal Hulk, right?
Yeah, even the fact that it's free range to throw things off is
Yeah.
huge. And each healthy non-grunt contesting counts as 2. I mean, that's insane.
Huge. And he's quite resilient. He's not super like amazing, although he does have a beam attack. That's quite good. that doesn't cost any power.
A zero cost beam attack.
Yeah.
That's a bit gross.
He does only move short though, which is a bit rough.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, look, he's got a lot of strong pieces,
yeah,
but I worry he's got too much in
too
a
much
little,
going on.
too much going on. You don't have a solid game plan. You kind of get your wires crossed a little bit and it unravels.
For sure.
But
Um,
you never know.
all the pieces are there.
Yes.
We have 16s, 17s, and 19 out of 20 for our crisis cards. Um, Interesting, because obviously with so many low cost characters, you can play super small. You can play 16 quite easily and throw a lot of people off their game. And 20, you're running, you know, 5 including Immortal Hulk, 6 or 7 including everyone else.
Yeah. Do you know what this list is to me? He's loves chocolate ice cream. He loves strawberry. He loves vanilla. Doesn't know what to buy, so it's just all
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. Because then he doesn't have to make a decision. Just a bit of everything.
Look, and I think it works, right? It'll be fun. Mix it up.
No, no one will ever know what they're playing against.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, in a 3-game tournament, if you get to use all your favorite models, what's wrong?
He realistically could be going in with the plan to run game 1 as Midnight Suns, game 2 as Cabal, and game 3 as Criminal Syndicate.
Why not?
And
Just throw everyone off.
All his favorite lists in one game.
Oh, I like that. That's very cool.
Also, I like Hood. Hood's not one we discuss.
Oh yeah,
A lot.
Hood is very interesting.
He's nasty for how cheap he is. He's got mystic attacks.
Yep.
He swaps over into his possessed form, which I don't have here, but it's.
If you click the possessed up the top,
he then flips into that form, does a bit of physical, does a bit of mystic, can move around, then flips back.
Ooh, his possessed form has a charge attack. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
He's quite good, I think. He's got some cheeky stuff in here.
Yeah. I own Hood. I don't know if I've ever used him in a game. If he would be days, before being days, it transforms. Interesting. How do you swap?
His abilities attack swap him, I believe. So when he's damaged, when his character is damaged by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, he transforms into Hood possessed.
Okay.
But afterwards, I think you transfer back when you do your empowered dark light.
Yes.
No, either of your attacks.
Yeah.
So whether you raise a talons or you empower dark lightning, you flip back.
Interesting.
So he gets hit, transforms. You can do a move up close and either bleed someone or mystic them.
8 dice mystic is good. And shock.
Yeah. And it so after his attack is resolved, choose a number of other enemies within 3 of the character target equal to or less than the number of swirlies. The chosen characters suffer 2 damage. So
wow.
He can flip and just do some nasty things.
That's brutal. And when he's in demon form, he takes 2 less damage to a minimum of 1.
But he does get.
He gets pretty ruined by mystic attacks.
So if depending on some of what you're playing against, you want to flip him back pretty quick. But
yes,
he's good. He's a good little 3.
Absolutely. Oh, and in his regular form, his dark lightning does arc as well.
Yeah, it just does the.
That's really cool.
He's quite a good character.
Yeah, not bad for 3 threat.
Yeah, very squishy. Doesn't have the defense. 2,
no.
2, 3, and his possessed side is also 2 through 3. So he dies pretty quick.
But on his possessed side, reducing damage by 2 without having to spend power. That's pretty good.
That is true.
All right, lucky last, the Insidious 9. So I don't know who the 9th Insidious one is, but I see 8 Insidiouses. Spider-Man and Hulk.
Why is Spider-Man there? I'm so confused.
In theory, you could run Web Warriors.
Can
In
you?
theory, if you run Spider-Man and Venom, that's 9,
And the Hulk,
and Hulk.
that's your 15.
Yeah. Do we have a
Doesn't have
15 card? No, he
doesn't have
doesn't.
a 15, but other people did.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a cheeky 15.
What is uh Amazing Spider-Man's leadership ability? Once per turn during an allied character's activation, spend a character. Oh, they're slowed. Yeah, and you get to move them.
Yeah,
If they already had slow.
I realistically think he's going to be playing against Midnight. I mean,
Yeah.
Spider-Man the whole time.
So Green Goblin. Once per turn, when an allied character is attacking, it may reroll one opposing defense dice. Super obnoxious. Not the best thing ever, but you just get to reroll one of your opponent's crits or wilds and potentially turn it into nothing.
It's super obnoxious.
Yeah. So this is, I think the Spider Foes have a lot of characters, and they're very niche, right? So they all do a specific thing. Lizard is your damage dealer. He's quite resilient. He just runs at things and punches the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Mysterio.
Mystic annoyance.
Yep, he's got stealth. He always gets to use his mystic defense unless your opponent pays energy, pays power. Like, super good.
Doc Ock is your waste of 3 points.
Look, after using Dr. Octopus a little bit, I don't hate him.
He just does nothing.
He does have energy attacks, and I think he might be one of the only ones in this list that has energy. Yes, he is.
There's a lot of physical in this list.
I think it's all physical, actually. It's all physical. Except for Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio has... Oh, nope, Goblins' bombs are physical.
Yep.
Yeah, look, it's
So
physical.
he gains power every time he rolls a crit. Dr. Octopus, whenever he rolls dice, which is quite good. He can throw... It's only size 2, but, I mean, it's okay. And yeah.
I think realistically, most games you're going to be playing Rhino and Venom. Rhino's...
Yeah. Rhino, Venom,
strong,
Green Goblin.
does lots of damage, does lots of pushing, and then Venom is my most hated. Venom gets me every time. So when he gets after an attack against Venom, he pays 2 energy. If the attack is within 3, he just gets to attack them back.
Yeah.
And he can We Are Venom for 3 energy. So if you've done some damage to him, he gets the We Are Venom. Then he heals, and that's really frustrating.
When when Venom is attacking you, you can't modify defense dice.
Yeah,
that is real good.
He's just really annoying to play against.
Yeah,
he does have his weaknesses, of course. You nail him with some energy, and he dies very quickly.
Absolutely. But he also has the Lethal Protector Team Tactics card down here, which is this is probably Venom. Obnoxious. This just takes him to a whole other level. Anytime you attack an enemy allied character, or one of these allied characters within 3 of Venom, Venom spends 2 power. He is then placed within 1 of the allied character, and then he becomes the target of the attack.
Then he can hit them back and heal.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got all the Spider Foe nastiness. He's got sinister traps. He's got this is a robbery.
So sinister traps. Hang on. There's a card. Oh yeah, well laid plans. There we go. We'll come to that in a sec. This is why you would take Dr. Octopus. So sinister traps is cool. You basically pick an objective token, and then as soon as the enemy moves within 2 of it, they take a bunch of damage. It's brutal. I think you're always going to put this in your 5 team tactics cards. But the reason you would take Dr. Octopus potentially is for well laid plans. This is quite a tricky card. You have to play Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. They may spend 3 power each, and then roll 5 dice for each enemy character holding an objective token. They suffer a damage for each crit or wild they roll. Then they drop all objective tokens they're holding.
That's a really good card.
Potentially quite nasty and quite devastating.
Yeah, especially if you've got the option there. You could not use Doc Ock the whole tournament, and then but you've got that one game where if they're holding 3 objectives and you play this on round 5 or 6, all those objectives go, and you can be a huge swing.
Potentially as well, like somebody, they could take 5 wounds.
Yeah. The other one that's very good. This is a robbery. This is just 2 cost. Rhino gets to flog or make someone automatically drop an objective, which is good on itself. Which then I'm quite sure, because Rhino's causing them to drop it, he gets to place it, I would imagine, and then throws the medium.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's no restrictions on this.
No, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Your, Hulk or whatever is big character is getting launched.
Yep.
That's really good.
Rhino is real good as well. He gets basically spends 3 power. He gets pushed medium. It doesn't stop his movement if it contacts size 2 or smaller interactive terrain. It just, gets to move. And then next time he makes his gore attack, he adds 2 dice. So it's a 7 dice attack. He's actually surprisingly quick.
Yes, I found that out the hard way too.
Yeah.
You don't expect him to be, small move, big base. You're like, oh yeah, he'll get across, but then he comes at you and really comes at you.
So in reality, like second turn, he's probably going to have enough power to move small, push medium, and then gore you to attack. Brutal.
And if anyone accidentally takes a pot shot at him for funsies,
you're
going to regret it. He's a mini juggernaut, really. He takes neg 1 damage.
And if he takes damage, he advances short. Yeah, wow.
If anyone gets damaged around him, he gets, and don't get dazed, he gets energy.
Yep.
He's very good.
Very nasty.
Quite a good list. I mean, I don't know the Hulk Amazing Spider-Man plan, but the basic Spider-Foes list is solid. It always does alright.
Yeah, and
to support it.
Spider-Man moves long as well. Like, you just chuck him in to run around and capture objectives and just be annoying. Quite good. Lizard with Monkey Brain is Lizard Home. This is one of I've been on the receiving end of this quite a few times. It's a 5 dice area to attack. Lizard can spend 3 power. And then everyone gets pushed short. So Lizard just flips in the middle of the, everyone capturing an objective and just pushes everyone away.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Lots of control.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the characters coupled with the team tactics, there's a lot of nice little tricks there. For sure.
Well-designed faction.
Yeah, I think so. And 17, 18, 19, and 20 crisis cards to play quite big. We have Fear Grip's World as Worthy Terrorized Citizens. We haven't really talked a lot about what the crisis cards do, but what that does is gives whoever's holding it an extra attack, an extra dice on Rhino, Venom, Lizard, Mysterio, Hulk. That's brutal.
Yeah. I've got to say, is it my least favourite? It's my least favourite. I hate hammers.
Yeah, it's
Always on the receiving end. Someone comes up to me with a, Thor that's throwing out so many dice and.
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, like Hulk.
Um,
Hulk picking up 3 hammers does an 8 dice beam attack, right? Like, that's fucked.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And
But yeah, we've got a couple of nice little cards there. Brace for Impact, another pretty staple card. Sacrifice is another one that's popped up quite a bit. Um, if an allied character is within 2 of an allied character and is targeted by an enemy attack, but they can both spend a power to play the card. The non-targeted allied character immediately becomes the new target, regardless of range and line of sight. Excellent.
my headset definitely died.
I'm just going over the sacrifice card. Basically, you get to... It's reverse bodyguard, right? You make somebody else become the range of the attack, and they cannot modify dice rolls, defense dice rolls.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Good for keeping your leader alive.
Yes, just handy to have.
Definitely.
And he's got ammo launch, which is always hilarious. Hulk
Yeah.
gets to launch on 5.
Yep.
Good laugh when you throw Venom in the middle of an enemy team.
Oh, absolutely. Or Rhino.
Have fun dealing with that.
Oh man, there's no. Oh man, there's no. There's no size restraints on that, so you can throw Rhino, who's size 4, into the middle of the enemy, so he can start stampeding.
Yep.
Oh boy. And we got Bullseye, who obviously is not. He's not Spider-Foe's affiliated, but he does fit in there. He's a Daredevil villain, but it works.
He's the most fitting to threat as well.
For sure, to go in that list, yeah.
Roster.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure he's fought Spider-Man at some point. I'm sure he doesn't like Spider-Man.
Absolutely not. And because he's a criminal, he would work with all of the other criminals. So, makes sense. Yeah, solid list. I think, yeah, very, very interesting. So that's our 12. That's our 12 lists. What,
Should we discuss the most important list of all?
Which one? Oh, the Gumby list. I haven't. Send me this.
I did.
Cool.
So if anyone has to play against the Gumby list, it is the Hulk, the Hulk Buster, the She-Hulk, and the Squirrel Girl. all wrapped up in an Avengers or A-Force. Squirrel Girl definitely has the card that lets you kill things because it's funny.
Squirrel Girl's card is Inexplicable Demise. So she can spend any amount of power to play this card, choose an enemy character within range 2 with a threat value of X, and X is the number of power you've spent or less. Roll a number of dice equal to their threat value. So let's say Thanos with 2 gems, he's rolling 8 dice.
Yep. And if you basically, depending how many results you roll, you throw out a lot of special conditions on them. But if you roll a crit, a swell, a hit, a shield, and a skull, they're dead. All the Hulk's rules don't matter. He's dead. Thanos' rules don't matter. He's dead.
That's very good. Very good. Just also, straight up KO'd.
Gamma launch. Hulk throw She-Hulk in the middle. There's what is it? Special delivery. One of the flying ones can just launch She-Hulk into the middle.
She-Hulk's the A-Force affiliation is very good. Yeah. When an allied character is damaged, another allied character may gain a power. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Very nasty.
Of shenanigans. Just
definitely
there to have a bit of a laugh.
Yep. And I think the Hulkbuster is one of my favorite models that I don't see get played enough.
No. That's definitely why it's in this list.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really cool. I like the fact that he can get flipped and become small
Oh,
Hulk,
if you
small
ever
Iron Man.
if you ever pull off the re-go back in Hulkbuster, someone's gonna be sad.
Look, I've used Hydra Bob enough to know that it's very easy to get 10 power. And you just gotta play smart.
Yep.
Um,
Cool. So
yeah. Hopefully nobody pulls out because that's gross.
you go through what would be your favorite list and the one you think is gonna do the best.
All right, favorite list. Favorite list is probably going to be. I'm just going back because my memory doesn't work. Look, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably, I think, the
Yeah.
coolest, most themed um, list. It could also do quite well.
That's yep.
Um, I think the other list that is gonna do quite well, the list that's probably gonna um, do pretty well and make everyone have a bad time, is Sam's Avengers featuring
Mhm.
Pyro, Beta Ray Bill, Logan, and Doctor Voodoo.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
um,
that's
because that
it's a list clearly done by someone who plays a lot of games.
for sure,
When
you've got
you
something
pick
that
it,
does whatever you need to do.
look, I reckon my favorite list is. Oh, I want to say. I wanted to say Age of Ultron Avengers, but Spider Woman just did it for me. But
Look, it was so close to being the most themed
so
list,
close.
right?
I like the Hydra list. That's my favorite
Oh,
purely
where are we?
because it's the type of list I run.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a
It's
very list that
full
you
of
would run for sure.
full of shenanigans, full of stupid stuff, full of bullshit, for lack of a better word.
Yep.
And it's yeah, which is gonna do well though. That's a harder pick. I think. Look, I don't think there's a weak list. I don't think anyone's picked something that's
No, actually, surprisingly, I think you're right. There's no list where you look at it and you're like, "What the fuck have you done?"
yeah. But the three that I think the Midnight Suns are very hot at the moment, but they're not. They you can deal with them. I think the three that really stand out for me are obviously the one you said,
Yep.
Sam's Avengers. It just
Where's that?
looks
Yep.
to me, it's not there's stuff in there that I don't agree with. I think
Yep.
like Sabretooth is not as good as I think Sabretooth is better than Logan. I know a lot
For
of people
sure.
disagree, but running them both in a lot of games, I think there's not much need for Pyro. I think there's a few little things I would do differently, but this person's played it enough that they think this is what they need to do well.
Yeah,
So
for
they
sure.
game plan. So I think this is going to do very well. I think obviously the caveat being if they played it much is the Adepticon list. It's proven track record that that is a foul list, and if they practice piloting it, it
Yep.
will do well.
Yeah, it's got
And
it's got all the tools there for sure.
yeah, and it just depends if it's someone who, as you said, they told you that they haven't had enough time to make a list, so they've just picked one. So if that's the case, if they haven't had much time to practice, I think it's going to be a bit hard.
Yeah, they
Then
might
my
get a
other
couple of lucky matchups.
Yeah, my other pick is the Brotherhood list, and that's just because it has Brotherhood at its baseline has
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
I would go as far as saying if you had an event that you could only use cards of a faction, I know it rules a lot out, but like if you had to have only Avengers, only
Yeah,
Brotherhood,
yeah, yeah.
Brotherhood is the strongest in
Yep.
faction, and I think it's just got everything in there. So that would be my other
Especially
pick.
especially because their two leadership abilities make them play so vastly differently.
Their two leadership abilities also two of the best in the game.
Yeah.
Ugh, even looking at Mystique's one again, it's so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially if there's lots of objectives on the board, you can just yeah. You have a lot of
Takes it
board
for free.
control.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that would be my picks, I think. But it's one of those ones. If someone has a good run, I don't think there's a weak list here.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of it is going to come to matchups and I guess player experience. That's what
Which
it
is good.
comes down to. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I think a game like Crisis Protocol with I was going through Jarvis Protocol today. There is 149 characters.
Ooh, that's gone up a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh lord.
that is a lot.
Do you know what the worst part about this? That means I have 100 something characters sitting near me.
I added all my characters into my Jarvis protocol. I don't
Was it a
have.
mistake?
Look, it. I had less than I thought when you put it
Okay.
in straight numbers because there's a
Yeah,
lot of
okay.
affiliations that I've chosen not to
Yeah.
collect.
See, I deliberately don't have Spider-Man or Spider-Foes, and that helps me
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Cool. It
But
should be a
yeah,
good either way.
definitely 12 players, 12 very interesting lists.
Yep.
Hopefully 36 fun games. Is that the math? No, that's not the math.
18
18?
fun?
18, there you go. 18 fun games.
That's alright. It means I only need to make 6 boards, not 12.
Yeah, exactly. I've done that. It's all sorted. That's a.
Sorted.
And because we've got less tables,
Wait.
that means there'll be more terrain.
Oh, and you know who's gonna love that? Magneto.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, so thank you for coming and hanging out, Hearn, and going through these lists.
Good fun.
I'm now going to try to quickly edit this as quick as possible. We shouldn't need to do too much cutting out, but I know there'll be a lot of people that will want to watch this and figure out what their hardest matchups is going to be.
Start the power gaming early.
Absolutely, start the panicking.
The panicking. Please don't pair me against Thanos.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. Or
Who's
Oh,
wronged
man.
me recently?
Thanos and Star Lord. That's I've had
Yeah.
to play against that. That's rough.
Shame Coach isn't here. That'd be
Yeah.
a great first game for Coach.
Yes. Imagine
Just
9:30 on a
9 a.m.
Sunday
right here.
morning. Yeah.
Peak Coach saltiness. That'd be perfect.
Definitely. All right, so we'll I guess we'll have the tournament and we'll see how we go. We might do a little after tournament wrap up and see what came out on top. Hopefully, I remember to take lots of photos.
I'll bring a camera.